Alabama is on the brink of employing a novel method of execution as it prepares to execute Kenneth Eugene Smith using nitrogen gas. Smith, who survived a previous attempt at lethal injection in 2022, is scheduled for execution on Thursday, marking the first use of nitrogen hypoxia since the introduction of lethal injection in 1982. Nitrogen hypoxia involves causing death by the inmate to breathe pure nitrogen, depriving them of the oxygen necessary for bodily functions. While the state asserts that nitrogen gas will induce unconsciousness rapidly, critics liken the untested method to human experimentation. Nitrogen hypoxia execution involves the inmate breathing pure nitrogen, altering the air composition and depriving them of essential oxygen. Despite being authorized in 2018 by Alabama, along with Oklahoma and Mississippi, no state has executed a death sentence using this method. The shift to nitrogen gas is prompted by the scarcity of drugs for lethal injections, the most common execution method in the United States. According to the state's protocol, after Smith is secured to the gurney, a NIOSH-approved Type C full facepiece supplied air respirator, commonly used in industrial settings, will be placed over his face. The warden will then activate the nitrogen hypoxia system from another room, with the gas administered for at least 15 minutes or until a flatline indication on the EKG, whichever is longer. Smith's attorneys argue that he is being used as a test subject for an unproven execution method. They contend that the proposed mask is not airtight, potentially leading to a prolonged execution.
We are alarmed by the imminent execution in the United States of America of Kenneth Eugene Smith through the use of a novel and untested method, suffocation by nitrogen gas. This could amount to torture or other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment under international human rights law.
Critics also warn that the low-oxygen environment could induce nausea, causing the inmate to choke on their vomit. International experts appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council have expressed concerns that the execution method may violate prohibitions against torture and cruel, inhuman, or degrading punishment. The execution faces legal challenges, with Smith's attorneys asserting violations of the ban on cruel and unusual punishment and due process rights. The US Supreme Court is expected to rule on whether the execution can proceed. If the execution proceeds, it could pave the way for other states to consider nitrogen gas as an alternative execution method.
Kenneth Smith's execution is problematic for a number of reasons. The thing that the public is most aware of is that he is scheduled to be the first person in the world to be executed using a nitrogen suffocation technique. But I think more fundamentally, Kenneth Smith's case is a case that shows one of the major problems with the death penalty in Alabama. In the United States, permits a judge to override a jury vote for life. But Alabama, after abandoning that process, has refused to overturn the death sentences of the individuals who were sentenced to death.
Conversely, a blocked or botched execution may impede the adoption of this method by other states, raising questions about the viability and ethics of nitrogen hypoxia in capital punishment.